Deputy Chairman at Kazakhstan Ventures, and Mr. James Tan, Managing Partner of Quest Ventures. Before we get started, now we are on Facebook Live, and this will be streaming from Zoom and also Facebook. So feel free to share this launch event link to your startup networks or innovation communities. And I would like to invite all panelists to switch on your video. Hi, Diaz. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, James. Okay, sure. So I think for Diaz, he has not switched on his video, but it should be fine. Let's proceed to the event proper. I'm Michelle from Quest, your host for today. Before we dive right in, allow me to briefly share the event lineup. First, we will start with the welcome and opening addresses by both Quest and Kazakhstan Ventures, followed by a launch video to mark the start of the region's world-class international accelerator. Then, I would invite my colleague, Mr. Anwar, to announce the details of the accelerator program, before moving into the last section of AMA with Mr. Diaz and Mr. James, where you can ask any questions relating to Kazakhstan, Singapore, and more. Starting the event proper, now allow me to invite Mr. James Tan, Managing Partner of Quest Ventures, to give his welcome address.
Good morning, my dear friends from Kazakhstan and our friends from the region in general, and our good friends also who I see are joining us from pretty much all over the world, especially in Southeast Asia and Central Asia. On behalf of the teams at Kazakhstan Ventures and Quest Ventures, I am delighted to welcome you to the launch of the Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator. The Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator, or the KDA, is a combination of efforts by two parties, Kazakhstan Ventures, whom you all know, and Quest Ventures. We believe that the KDA will be pushing the boundaries with the finest teams from Central Asia. Quest Ventures is bullish on opportunities in Central Asia, especially Kazakhstan. Over the past many months, we have interacted with countless students, professionals, ecosystem stakeholders, professors from Kazakhstan and the region, and we are consistently bowled over by the quality and the passion that the teams have in wanting to drive the ecosystem forward, in wanting to change the world in their own way. I think COVID has amplified the importance of technology as a means for all of us to tide over and to overcome the situation, whether we are in general technology or medical technology or just tech in whatever we do. COVID has also presented opportunities for us to adjust our programs to better suit the needs of the population in Kazakhstan and in Central Asia. By moving it online, we are now able to attract more people to be a part of this program and to be a part of the success in general. On this note, I congratulate the teams for having put together this program, and I look forward to the Ask Me Anything session ahead, and especially looking forward to the launch of the Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Next, allow me to invite Mr. Diaz Bekzaltan, Deputy Chairman of Kazakhstan Ventures, for his opening speech. Mr. Diaz, please.
Hello and welcome, everyone. As you know, in March 2020, Kazakhstan Ventures signed an agreement with Quest Ventures and became one of the anchor investors of the Quest Venture Asia Fund 2. And actually, one of the main tasks of QTV is to support technology entrepreneurs in Kazakhstan through various trainings and events. Since March 2020, our team and Quest team have been actively cooperating to launch the Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator. The main goal of this session today, we will be happy to introduce Kazakhstan audience with this KDA program. And this acceleration program will contribute to the development and promotion of the startups and the digital ecosystem in Kazakhstan. Due to the acceleration program startup projects, we will be able to get knowledge from leading international experts and test the product in real market. And our team, jointly with the Quest Venture team, will select startups and prepare them for entering the market, provide the best mentors and professionals with a huge experience, conduct workshops, consultation, and to probably help to set up a networking. And at the end, I would just want to mention that we will coordinate the implementation of this program completely and provide comprehensive support to the program participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diaz. With the heartening speeches, we announced the official launch of Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator, put together by Quest Ventures and Kazakhstan Ventures. Let's put our hands together and watch the launch video of KDA together. I believe we're facing a technical glitch on Zoom. Allow us to work it out to share you the launch video. Give us a moment.
You assert yourself, be loud and brave, appropriate and honest. Submit your application for the Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator on the questventures.com website. Kaztech Ventures. We believe in ideas.
With the Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator officially launched through the video that we have shared earlier, if you have missed it, you can find it on Quest Ventures website, or we'll be uploading it on our social media channels on Quest and Kazakhstan Ventures. So let me invite Mr. Anwar, Investment Director of Quest Ventures in Kazakhstan, to announce the details of KDA. Anwar, please.
Yeah, hello everyone. Nice to see everybody here. I just recently joined the Quest Ventures team, and I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to present the KDA program within this today's launch event. So just give me a second, I'll share my screen and we'll go through the presentation. Okay, so is it okay? I hope everybody sees my screen. Yeah, thanks, Michelle, very much. Thanks for this warm introduction. Now I'll briefly walk you through the outline of the program, its structure, the eligibility criteria, and some of the values that the startups who will be selected for the program will get within the Kazakhstan Digital Acceleration. So just to give you a quick snapshot of who we are, what is Quest Ventures? So Quest Ventures is a leading venture fund. We are investing in the companies that can create a scalable and replicable solutions and products for the large internet communities, and tackling digital economies. So just some quick numbers. Our portfolio companies operate in more than 150 cities. We have 50 plus portfolio companies and employ almost 4,500 people within our portfolio globally. So what's our approach to work within startups and to work with the digital acceleration program? First of all, it's the bringing startups from 0 to 1, which basically means that we provide necessary support and guidance for the companies to help them bring discipline and focus in order to build their businesses. The second, we are not just an investor, we foster the whole ecosystem, the community where the startups operate, because they're not living on the planet by their own. There should be a necessary ecosystem for the startup to develop. And here we provide safe and mutually supportive ecosystem of founders, like-minded experts and investors, so they can share their experiences and grow the businesses together. So next, what can we provide to the startups within the Kazakhstan Digital Acceleration Program and overall by engaging with the Quest Ventures? First of all, I would like to say that this program, KDA, is backed by the two leading ecosystem players, such as Kazakh Ventures and Quest Ventures, where we where there are majority and vast majority of the resources that can be benefited by the startups. So in details, what do we offer? First of all, it's a structured, well-structured programs to the startups so they can strengthen their business fundamentals in order to grow the businesses. Second is probably one of the largest global mentorship networks that we have and that we can provide access to the startups. And here, through the work with these mentors, the companies can grow and scale their businesses, whether it's regionally or internationally. The third thing is, of course, funding. Startups who will be selected for the program will get the investment from the accelerator in the amount of $50,000, and they will have within the program they will have an outreach to our global investor base, so that they can leverage on that and build really global products from day one. And the next, last but not the least, it's the expertise that we have in the various market strategies, which will be provided during the program by our partners and mentors, experts that will help our companies to build and implement efficient going to market strategies, because this this advice and support is based on the personal experience and the deep understanding of the markets that our experts have. So here's the brief outline of the program. So what startups should expect and what we're gonna do within the next several months. So the program is actually a 3-month online program for the startups from Kazakhstan and Central Asia who want to build a big business locally and internationally. The program itself will be divided into 3 phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I'll stop by on that a little later. And the difference is that this program will have a rolling intake model. So that means that startups can join different phases of the program. For example, if they miss the application deadline from the phase 1, they can apply directly for phase 2. However, you have to know that in order to get an investment and in order to be able to graduate the program and pitch in front of the investors at demo day, you have to take all 3 phases of the program. The next thing that startups can expect to work closely with our network of top local and international mentors and experts. There's going to be large lecture sessions. There's going to be one-to-one sessions with experts and many more events where the experts can share their knowledge to the startups. Investors also will provide their expertise. So the next thing is that startups will have a reach, as I said, to the large investment base from Southeast Asia. There will be a demo day for the investors from that region. One more thing, very exceptional thing here on this market, I would say that the startups will get $50,000 of an investment for those who will be selected to the program. For that, for the $50,000, it's going to be for the equity stake up to 9%. The investments will be in form of the convertible note or some similar structure. However, the program doesn't have any cost or fee. So that means this investment you will get, you will not have to pay for the program fees from that money, and you can spend it for the business development. And yeah, last but not the least, our startups have the access to the large area of Quest family benefits, which we are proud to present, and I will speak about them a little later. So what sectors are we focused on? So here are probably the hottest verticals right now, and we are focusing on them in Kazakhstan as well. So it's edutech, fintech, e-commerce, agriculture, healthcare, SaaS solutions, and of course the space tech. So these are the main sectors that we will be focusing on, but it doesn't mean that we will refuse the startups that are tackling other areas. If they have a strong fundamentals, they have a good team, they have a good product, and they found a very good niche with a necessary depth in that market depth in that, yeah, we can accept this kind of startups to the program. So the eligibility. The formal eligibility criteria are that startups have to be incorporated in Kazakhstan or at least have one founder who is a citizen of Kazakhstan. Main thing is that the startups should have a business model and or offering that is scalable and replicable. So we are looking for the companies that can grow to other markets, to other regions, and they can provide scalable solutions. We're also looking for the founders who have a global mindset and ready to operate in various geographies or markets. Also, startups should have a ready product or a service. Of course, it should be a digital service or a product. We are not looking at the ideation stage. However, we could look at the startups who probably don't have revenue at the moment, but they have a strong team. They are just pre-revenue stage. They have everything ready to get to the market, and if they have an interesting things to offer, yeah, we can also consider them for the program. And probably the last, you have to meet the deadlines. You have to apply before 5th of July to get into the first intake of the program. So please don't miss it. Register. You better register early for the acceleration. The registration is open. You can. We will provide, and it's actually provided the link for the registration. If necessary, we will put here again. My colleagues can help me with that. So coming back to the structure of the program, as I said, it's going to be developed into 3 phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. First phase is basically it's a market entry, and it's basically about orientation and networking. Startups will be assigned with a mentor who will dive pretty deep into their internals and will help to identify strong, weak sides of their businesses or business model, help to set the milestones and goals for the program, and will help to track their progress. The second phase is for growth hacking. Within this phase, we will cover various topics such as customer acquisition, innovative and creative thinking, key execution, data analytics. Of course, all throughout the program, there will be various sessions with the speakers, experts. There will be one-to-one sessions, and startups can expect a pretty intensive workload during the program. And the last phase is actual pitch and pitch presentation and the demo, which is going to take approximately 3 weeks. Here, startups will be able to present their, to pitch and present their companies to local investors. We will have one demo day for the investors from Kazakhstan and Central Asia, and we will have another demo day for the investors from Singapore and Southeast Asia. We all know that the situation with this COVID is pretty unpredictable. In the best case scenario, we expect to have a physical demo days where we can gather investors, whether it's in Kazakhstan or in Singapore. But we will see how the situation will develop in the future. We will hope that we will have a chance to have an actual physical demo days. So who will be supporting our programs? Who are mentors and startups? We have engaged top local speakers and the program partners for Kazakhstan. From Kazakhstan, these are the institutions like this, our main partner, Kaztech Ventures. We're also partnering with Astana Hub, AIFC FinTech Hub, Kazangels, and many more organizations of that caliber. We're also engaging as a guest speaker and mentors these well-known startup founders like Ramil Mukharyapov from Choco Family or Bolat Ospanov from Smart Satu. We will be engaging the experienced business angels to share their knowledge like Murat Abdrahmanov, Olzhaz Zhienkulov. We'll also be engaging, industry experts from the various industries, from banks, audit and consulting companies. All of them will be ready to provide their support. We also have a very extensive top startup founder network in Southeast Asia. This includes the founders of the companies that have raised millions of US dollars in Southeast Asian markets, like the Carousel, like 99Co, ShopBank, and many more. They're also going to be working with the startups. They'll help to accelerate their growth, give some valuable advices. We also have a large international mentors from the various fields and expertise in the industries, from finance to marketing, from ecosystem building and engagement to investment organization and so on. So we expect startups should expect to work closely with this level of international mentors. So, and for the last, a lot of perks that startups can get from our Quest family. This could include some special offers and discounts, or from the services like Slack, PayPal, Salesforce, HubSpot, Stripe, which are valuable probably for almost all startups now, and which we are proud to and happy to offer to our startups in Kazakhstan. So basically that's it. Let's get started. Very happy to see everyone. We'll be very happy to work with the Kazakh startups and develop Kazakh startup ecosystem so that our companies can grow and make really global businesses, whether it's in Southeast Asia or any other parts of the world. Thank you very much. So let's begin.
Thank you, Anwar. Thank you for the insightful sharing on the details of KDA. Your insightful sharing must have created a fresh wave of demand from the founders to apply for this accelerator to gain international exposure and networks. We believe we'll be seeing more and more applications outside of what we already have been receiving from Kazakh side. Let's move on to the AMA section that all of you are waiting for. Before we go into the section proper, I would like to encourage all of you to ask the questions in the Q&A segment, the icon on the left of the chat function. I've noticed a lot of you asking in the chat function, but in order for us to pick up the questions and ask them to Mr. Diaz and Mr. James, please put them in the Q&A section. And Jonathan, my colleague, will also be answering them in real time as well. Okay, I will first invite Mr. Diaz Beksultan and then Mr. James Tan to take the questions selected from the Q&A section here and on Facebook Live. Mr. Diaz has over 8 years of experience in quasi-state companies in the structures of Samruk Casino and Byterek Holding. Over the years, he directed the creation of investment funds, asset management, project finance, and corporate finance. My first question to you, Mr. Diaz, how will KDA impact the wider startup ecosystem in Kazakhstan?
Thank you for your question. Actually, KDA program will promote the development and promotion of startup projects and digital ecosystem in Kazakhstan. And hopefully, due to acceleration program, startup project will be able to gain knowledge from leading international experts and test the product under real life conditions. And team of Quest Venture team, together with our team, will participate in selection of startup projects in their preparation for entering the market. And we are going to provide the best mentors and professionals with many years of experience. And it will be a consultation, individual meetings, and which will help establish networking in general. And I would also like to know that within the framework of this program, startup project will be able to present their projects to the investors in Southeast Asia region. If the project turns out to be very promising, it can be financing within the framework of the Quest Venture Asia Fund 2 activity.
That's very exciting. And I think like with the KDA program, the startups from Kazakhstan and Central Asia can look to go global right from day one. And I was just wondering, like, for these startups participating in KDA, what else can they look forward to other than funding? Like, because for this accelerator program, we do put in some seed funding for the startups and also having this very structured program for them to gain like networks and resources from both Central Asia and Southeast Asia. Just wanted to hear from you, like what the startups can look forward to.
At first, yeah, sure. At first, it's funding, financing the access to the global venture capital funding. But one of them, the main also, I think, is mentors, professionals who can teach you, who can give you some, who can share knowledge with their experience, and this networking with all of them, I think, will help you to find your investor and to proceed in future with your product.
Thank you so much. I believe like there is quite a bit of similarities between the Central Asia region and Southeast Asia. So why is Southeast Asia the next region for Central Asia startups to expand to? Like, and why is there such a huge focus for internationalization into Southeast Asia?
Currently, talented entrepreneurs and venture capital funds from all over the world are actively flocking to Southeast Asia region. And you know that this region about 600 million of residents, and we see the active economic development and growth in this part of the earth. And in addition to Singapore, venture capital investors are now coming to Indonesia, for example, Malaysia, and Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam, for example. And now, due to the large sales market in this region, and there are a large amount of venture capital is being formed, while the level of technology is not yet the highest, which allows our startup to compete with their Asian counterparts. And we think that cooperation with Singapore is a logical step towards entry into foreign markets, given that our market, Kazakhstan market, actually is small and undeveloped currently in terms of the purchasing power and size, for example. And we think that it's a good opportunity for Kazakhstan companies to enter the market in Southeast Asia.
Thank you, Mr. Diaz. I believe like it's the same for us looking at Central Asia for our Southeast Asian startups to expand into because of the parallels between both regions. Yeah. One more question, like currently, what are the main hurdles in which Kazakhstan startups face, and how will Kaztech be taking actions to address this?
Frankly speaking, currently in Kazakhstan, there is no venture capital financing at the same level system level, for example. And we can see that IT market, for example, is developing mainly by the private investments of the, for example, business angels, or they're developing on its own revenue with some capital expenses, etc., without support from the government. And all this was due to the low level of competence in the field of the venture capital funding. And one of the main obstacles for our startups, which does not allow us to develop and scale the business, is the lack of capital. And therefore, due to the agreement signed between QTV and Quest Ventures, our Kazakhstan companies, projects, startups will have the access to necessary amount of the investment to expand their projects. And venture capital investments of Singapore Fund will be invested both in post-incubation period, when innovative project is at the initial stage of sales, and in existing most promising innovative project at the stage of the scaling on the market. And to improve the knowledge and business competence, we're launching a joint KDA acceleration program, as Anwar described previously. And actually just want to add that we will provide all possible support to our startups during this acceleration process. And if you have any questions, you can ask us directly through our website or Facebook.
Yes, I believe like there's very strong efforts taken by Kaztech to also work with a lot of international partners, for example, like Quest Ventures, to help accelerate the growth of startups in Kazakhstan and Central Asia. Maybe like just one last one before we let you go, Diaz. So why is the Kazakhstan and Central Asia market ripe for disruption and startup development?
In Kazakhstan, the startup ecosystem has made a big leap actually in its development over the past 2-3 years. In particular, due to the initiatives aimed at the forming of the venture capital industry. And actually, we think that what Kazakhstan lacks now is a proper investment ecosystem. However, we are already seeing the right steps to create it. And now our company, Kazakhstan Ventures, is working to improve the venture legal framework, expand the boundaries of the partnership, and promote technological entrepreneurship. Actually, these are the necessary measures that create a favorable environment. And the developing the venture capital market in Kazakhstan will allow the first venture investors to take an advantageous position. And we believe actually that the market in Central Asia, and particularly in Kazakhstan, is now at the point of taking off and is ready to break through in near future.
Yes, thank you, Diaz, for your honest and insightful answers to the questions regarding Kazakhstan market and startup developments. I believe that innovative tech startups and investors are now very inspired to take action in the region. Thank you so much. Before we bring the session to a close, allow me to invite our final guest of honor for AMA, Mr. James Tan. James is managing partner at Quest Ventures, a leading venture fund for technology companies that have scalability and replicability in large internet communities. He's the first Singaporean and one of the rarefied few foreigners to found a public listed internet company in China and serves as an advisor, board member, or trustee in national and regional level organizations such as Action Community for Entrepreneurship, Applied Innovation Institute, Business Angel Network of Southeast Asia, and National Research Foundation CGAP Fund. My first question for you, James. Can you describe the investment review process and please identify the key areas that startups should meet in order to attract the interest of the fund's investment team?
Thank you, Michelle, for the question. Before I get onto the answer itself, I just want to echo what Diaz has mentioned, that the ecosystem or the environment in Kazakhstan and Central Asia right now is very poised for growth, and which is why we are also bullish on the opportunities that we are seeing startups attempt to tackle. So if you are a startup right now on the call, or you're a startup watching this video at a later time, don't miss the chance right now to work with pretty much the best people that we can bring together from both ecosystems to grow together with you. To get into this program, I would say it's not very easy because the review process has about 3 stages, where we, number one, want to screen the product, making sure that you are able to develop what the market needs, the business model, because there is no point developing something that cannot have a market demand for it or cannot generate revenue, that you are targeting a market that is large enough. So in our case, while we know that Kazakhstan is a very significantly large market, we know that Central Asia is much larger too. So we want you to be able to think out of the box and tackle markets that are larger than where you come from. Founders' background. We like to work with founders who are technically savvy, who are market savvy, who have the passion to carry things forward. So this will be the first stage, where through initial submissions, we want to screen all the various items that we mentioned before above: product, business model, market size, founder background. And then we'll have a meeting with shortlisted applicants to do further assessments. So you'll be invited to come for pitching sessions. This could be online, which is most likely what it will be, or it could be in-person meetings with you. And then eventually we'll do a scoring to decide. And the scoring itself, we're pretty transparent with the scoring criteria, strong management team, well-defined problem statement and an innovative solution different from existing solutions. It's a very differentiated business idea. And lastly, a very high market validity in Kazakhstan and Central Asia and Southeast Asia. Michelle.
Thank you, James. I believe like with the stringent process, we'll invest in only the best Kazakhstan and Central Asia startups and really bring them to go global from the start. And I was wondering, like for the startups, representing the startups who are very interested in the KDA right now, a lot of them are looking to send their applications right now, asking for the registration link. Yeah, what are the advantages and benefits of participating in the KDA program?
Thank you, Michelle, for the question. I believe my colleague Anwar Saflin, who is also very well connected and established in the Kazakhstan ecosystem, has already introduced this in our presentation. But broadly speaking, startups participating in the Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator program will have access to master classes. And if you have been to some of the master classes that we have run, these are amazing guys who come here and share with you their experience and share with you what to do and more importantly, what not to do. And chill with you at the end of the day over coffee, over beer and so on. And you get so much from them, just working with them. You get tons of mentorship from people in the ecosystem. We always believe that it pays a lot just to be able to interact with people in the ecosystem. For example, if you are in fintech itself, to have an hour session with someone who is deep in the trenches in PayPal or in Stripe, it just does volumes for your understanding of the ecosystem. Not only in terms of product, but also in terms of international expansion and funding. I think because we are bringing in a lot of international mentors, I believe that this will significantly help to open the minds. That market is readily available outside of your home country, and that we should not miss the opportunity to use this program to expand beyond our borders. At the end of the program, we are not going to forget you. Program participants will join our KDA alumni network and access the pretty diverse Quest ecosystem, and I'll say Kazakh ecosystem, resources, the family benefits that Anwar also pointed out, that is just close to $1 million worth of benefits there in Singapore dollars, by about $700,000 in US dollars, and the regional networks that we have established that we want to plug you into. Michelle.
Thank you, James. Yes, I strongly believe that, like for startup founders, the best way and the best people for them to learn from would be those who have tried it before, be it whether they failed or they have succeeded. At least you can try to learn like a lesson or actually get them to pave the way for you. And getting plugged into the ecosystem of the region that you are looking to expand in is very important. And with KDA, you will already be plugged into the ecosystem in both Central Asia and Southeast Asia. So like these regions with very, very strong growth rates and very strong ecosystem development activities. So I think now we want to know like what advice, James, yourself, you would give to Kazakhstan startups in order to be attractive to international venture funds. Yeah, based on like your experiences in private equity and also like venture capital.
Okay, thank you, Michelle, for the question. The question was on what Kazakhstani startups to be attractive to international venture funds. The number one thing for all startups, wherever you are from, is to be a solution for world problems. So don't create a product or solution and thereafter look for people to buy it or look for people to use it. Get plugged into the international startup ecosystem outside of your local one. I think Quest Ventures will be the help in that. Kazakh Ventures, if you have noticed over the last 1 or 2 years, have been very active in trying to expand the networks of Kazakhstan into international ecosystems and regional ecosystems. And so for Asia itself, Kazakhstan Ventures is working with Quest Ventures, and we are working closely together to make sure that the networks that we have are all being put to use for the Kazakhstani startups that are coming through the program itself. The last one would be, Anwar has also mentioned, to think big, to solve a problem that is really worth everyone's time, and most importantly, also worth your time, because you are deep in the trenches working on it. So just think big and solve a problem that is worth your time. Over to you, Michelle.
Thank you, James. So like I've picked out one question from the Q&A section from Nuhesh from Bangladesh. I think like he or she have met you in Startup World Cup Bangladesh before, and he or she is now with Priam from eGeneration. And the question is, what things should startup concentrate on growing after this global crisis? Would you have any advice on like what kind of initiatives, strategies that they should be focusing on post this global crisis of like the COVID situation? We understand that like the situation in Kazakhstan and also like all around the world regarding COVID has been deteriorating. So, and the startups are highly impacted. Like a lot of them have a shorter runway to raise like their next round, and they couldn't find customers, and like the supply chain logistics is like all affected. So maybe like you can give an advice or two with regards to like what kind of things should startup concentrate on to grow after this global crisis.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Munesh, for the question. It's good to see you on this call. We are also interested in South Asia, but if you are interested in the Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator program to grow your startup over into Kazakhstan, please apply. So on this note, I think if you have already raised venture capital, first of all, please ask your venture capital investors, what are they doing for you? Because over the past few months, as we dive into COVID, we have been working a lot with our portfolio companies to make sure that they have the cash to tide over this current situation, which none of us know how long it will last. But I think just having an external voice and going in to work with them to make sure that they are able to survive, that they are able to, if they have to retrench people or if they have to cut services, which generally what we are seeing all over the world, SMEs, MNCs and startups are also doing, that they do so in very responsible manner that allows them to retain core competencies that allows them to bounce back when the situation recovers. So ask your venture capital investors, if you already invested, what are they doing for you? Because we know quite clearly what we are doing for ours.
Thank you, James. Yeah, I believe like the venture capital right now, they are doing a lot for their portfolio to ensure that they tide through or thrive in these seasons of uncertainty. And also we are preparing the startups in a post-COVID new normal, like in this new world, like how it will be looking like and what kind of support we can help them to continue to grow and scale their businesses. So I think like for this, right, KDA would be very appropriate for startups in Kazakhstan and Central Asia. And we are also encouraging founders to explore Kazakhstan and Central Asia as the next market you're expanding to as well. So maybe like moving on to the last question that I have for you, James. What brought about the collaboration with Kazakhstan Ventures given the different geographical regions?
So Michelle, the question was about what brought about a collaboration between Quest Ventures and Kazakhstan Ventures. Right. I think for Kazakhstan itself, we first of all need to identify the market opportunity because we don't want to enter into any partnership blindly, and I would guess that's the same for Kazakhstan Ventures. I think both parties strongly believe that both regions has plenty of potential, and that whether you're from Kazakhstan or you're from Singapore or you're from Bangladesh for that matter, that in Asia itself, the technical talent, the technology talent is just there. However, like what Diaz has mentioned, that maybe there is not that much venture capital money supporting these startups. I mean, for example, Kazakhstan IT startups attracted $76 million in investments in 2 years. That sounds like a lot, but it's a drop in the ocean compared to what we are seeing in China, in the US, and even in Southeast Asia itself. But that doesn't mean that Kazakhstan does not have excellent companies. It does not mean that we have no good support ecosystems. We do have. So we are the first one, together with Kazakhstan Ventures, to put our money where our mouth is and go in as a venture capital firm to support these companies. And the first step we do is to set up the Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator to support at scale and in a very structured manner startups. In 2018, the Kazakhstan government announced plans to allocate up to US $1 billion for various projects that are expected to help digitize the country. We believe that this, with the strong support from the government and the strong branding that Kazakhstan has established for itself as the epicenter for Central Asia, as a Silicon Valley, if you may, for Central Asia, that this region is just poised for growth. And because at Quest Ventures itself, we also pride ourselves on being the earliest or the first one to be doing many things. Therefore, we want to also be the first one to tap into this tremendous opportunity presented to us in Central Asia. So I think the collaboration between Kazakhstan Ventures, it just came about very naturally. We were two parties with a very similar mindset that we want to do great things for the ecosystem, and we came together. Michelle.
Thank you, James. Yes, it seems very natural for like Kazakhstan Ventures and Quest Ventures to come together to connect both of the fastest growing regions in the world, and also like rapidly developing ecosystems with high amount of startup and innovation activities. This actually brings us to the close of today's launch event. And I would like to say a big thank you to all of you who have taken time to join us for this launch event and AMA session. We are informed over at this side of Asia that the COVID-19 situation in Kazakhstan is getting more serious, and I hope the nation stays strong and resilient amidst the pandemic. As more businesses adopt remote working and startups participate in virtual acceleration program, we want to encourage you to stay optimistic about the post-COVID world and take positive action, which will prove to be useful when the economy recovers and borders reopen. For those who would like to find out more about the Kazakhstan Digital Accelerator program, feel free to check out our program page at www.questventures.com/Kazakhstan. You can look at my background for the link to our website or scan the QR code. And you can also reach out to KDA@questventures.com for any of the questions. We hope you enjoyed the session. And for those questions that are not answered during this launch event and AMA session, feel free to write to our KDA@questventures.com, and we will try our best to answer your questions if they are not found in the FAQs. So we look forward to seeing you at the acceleration program. Have a good midweek and goodbye.